SAfm, and we are catching up with Annie now. Annie, is it Lopes or Lupus?
It's Lopes in Portuguese.
Lopes.
Sim, muito bem.
Muito bem. Bom dia, Annie. Bom dia.
Actually, it's boa tarde now.
Oh, yes, it's afternoon.
Yes, well done.
I need a little bit of practice. Annie, thank you so much for taking our call this afternoon. Annie is the founder of Annie Lopes Foundation. And we are going to be chatting around your call for individuals and businesses to support an educational bursary scheme. But firstly, let's get some context on your foundation. When was it conceptualized and what is your driving purpose?
So we were essentially founded in 2018. So essentially, this is a boutique service that I run, and I tailor training for individuals as well as for businesses, because I have been, I've had a 21-year career history developing organizational communication strategy, and I'm also a certified trainer in communications in English. So when I'm not consulting internationally, I help individuals enhance their skills within these disciplines, both socially and professionally. So in the process, I identified a great need for learner support in this area due to the prevailing social inequality challenges, which produce ill-prepared citizens for a globalized context in which they have to compete. So that is essentially the context, and I'm so grateful to the SAfm team today for helping bring awareness on the plight, the education and equality plight, and how we can all participate in the solution from our little corner of the globe. Just to give you some more context, for example, I'll give you two examples. Studies show that in countries like South Africa, for instance, 81% of kids cannot read for meaning. They go on to become a neat statistic. In other words, they're not in education, they're not in employment, and they're not in training. Or in instances where they are somehow able to progress in life, they struggle or find themselves at odds with the academic or workplace environment. So just to take it further afield in our analysis, many countries are guilty of low opportunities for its growing population. And then what happens, this is because, of course, due to political instability and a range of other factors. So as a result, what happens is work and study immigration becomes a very real factor for citizens to contend with. And so in both examples I've given, these instances present huge barriers to entry. So my work then to this end comes in the area of skills development for these very citizens to better prepare them for the required aptitude. So I work with individuals to university students, as well as professionals, and then their aptitude. Well, essentially, that some of them are beginner and others are already at the advanced stage in terms of their level. And then I help them develop. So this process, what I find is it presents affordability issues for the majority who desperately need the opportunities but have low access due to the associated costs. So this is where our learner sponsorship program comes in. Broader society, business community, and high net worth individuals are encouraged to financially sponsor students, or they can fund the entire program. And equally so, professionals can donate their expertise, like your psychologists and other professionals. They can do so, and in so doing, they will be helping learners have a fair chance to succeed in life.
And tell me, Annie, in terms of the sponsorship, because as you've just also mentioned, your call to action for individuals and businesses to support the educational bursary scheme. In terms of sponsorship, what does that look like? And also, what does it cover as part of the program?
Okay, so contributions make a positive difference, and every contribution is accounted for. So at the moment, we are taking registrations for the 2014 academic year, and I've got approximately 40 needy students who, as I said, need the opportunity but can't afford it. And what the contribution covers would essentially be their tuition, which ranges from 6 weeks for up to 2 years, depending on their level. It also funds student tools required for study, like your books, your computers, your internet access, etc. It funds the relevant international aptitude testing, which is extremely costly, Bridget. And then sometimes they need to do multiple tests because there's a whole cottage cheese industry behind that, which is a separate conversation. And then it funds the basic operational aspects of the educational program, as well as holiday programs, which provide linkages for networking, personal development, as well as engagement with welfare organizations, where students are tasked with distribution of essentials to needy communities. And I also donate my expertise. I donate my personal resources. And it's also not cheap, but I do this because I identified a need and I want to meet everyone halfway. So just in terms of also the impact of the contribution, as I said, there are about 40 needy students at the moment. The number increases throughout the year. SAFM listeners are encouraged to also apply to become a recipient of the program, the bursary program. And then also the program encourages a culture of paying it forward, which is very important. And our learners go on to become mentors, or they start their own developmental programs. And the goal is eventually to impact up to 500 lives annually. And this is for everyone, all of the ecosystem actors. It's not just restricted to the learners.
Absolutely. Now, for anybody that, whose interest you might have sparked, and they want to perhaps plug in or get further detail from you, what is the easiest way to access you guys at the foundation?
Okay, so what I've done is I've got three main, I've tried to make it as easy as possible. They can make their donations through 3 channels. They can use the safe payment gateways on our website, PayPal and PayFast. So if they go on the website, so it's www.annie.lopes, that's my name and surname.com, and they can click on the bursaries tab and donate. The second way to do that is to contact me to make alternative payment arrangements, or they can also make inquiries. My number would be 083 283 2803.
Okay, give it to us again, Annie.
So it's 083 283 2803.
Right.
But what happens is if they go on the site, all of my social media, all of my details are on there. They can even reach out to me by just clicking on the contact tab. It links directly to my phone and my WhatsApp, etc.
Awesome.
And then lastly, if students are wanting to apply for the program, they can do so through the website as well. And they'll just need to click on under bursaries and apply. As I said, all of my social media is accessible there.
Yeah.
And also proceeds of my book go towards the program. So they're also welcome to contribute in that way.
Lovely stuff. Annie Lopes, thank you so much for the conversation. Obrigada, much appreciated. And that is how we wrap up the show today, with just a few moments to spare until the very top of the hour.